Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with more, another topic. I was thinking about The Wire and its greatness and all of the smart dialogue that's on the show. And I started thinking about the best quotes from The Wire because if you watch The Wire, which has been off the air for quite a while now, the HBO series, you'll understand that every movie, every show after the opening scene and the theme song, there's a quote, and that quote is going to be said in that upcoming show. So you have those quotes, but then you have quotes throughout the TV shows that just are just clever TV, smart dialogue, things that relate to society, timeless quotes, things that stick with you throughout the show, that words to live by, so to speak. And this show is full of those. It's not just a show just of just violence and a show of drama. It's actually smart television and it actually gives you something to think about. It's more like conscious TV if you want to compare it to like hip hop. There's a conscious rap part, there's a conscious TV part, and that the Wire TV show is that. And I think that's the difference, the big difference between the Wire and the Breaking Bad or any other of those drug drama TV shows is because of the smart dialogue that the show has. And a lot of that show, is due to the creators and the producers of the show being just great, TV enthusiasts and being great minds of television. So this show is no different. So I've thought of my top 5 quotes from the TV show, The Wire. And of course, all of them, I'll break them down as well of meanings I think they have, and we'll go from there pretty much. But um, so my top 5, without any further ado, as they like to say. Um, so the fifth one is actually from the opening scene, first episode, first season of The Wire. The episode, the scene where the guy is laid out, and of course he's been unalived, and there's a guy talking to McNulty, the detective, and he says, "What happened?" He said, "Hey, the guy used to rob the card game. Well, we'll play dice all the time, and the guy would stick the games up, and we would run and we would beat him up, and nobody did anything past that. But this time, he actually was unalived after he did this." So McNulty asked him reasonably, "Hey, if the guy keeps holding up the game, why would you let him play the game?" And he said, "Man, this is America. You have to." So that's a powerful quote of why they let him. But I think it is deeply rooted in the foundation of America, of being the second chances, the land of second chances, and being the land of opportunity. Because no matter how many times that you've made mistakes, no matter how many times you might uh, been bankrupt, or how many times you've been incarcerated, or any amount of times that you've broken someone's promise, there's always another opportunity. There's always redemption, and that's what that was about back then. Now I don't know so much now if you have that same logic still exists, but the America was built on that premise, and the TV show definitely captured that in that powerful moment from the opening scene in that first season. So, but opportunity does come at a cost, and sometimes that opportunity could be your last opportunity, as the guy Snot Boogie, who was on the live, found out, unfortunately, in that show. But it was definitely captured the essence of what America was built on, or supposed to be built on. So that quote was definitely one that stood with me. So the fourth one is from probably the best poet on the show, which is Omar Little, who was a stick up guy on the show, of course. Money got no, when rest in peace to Michael K. Williams. Money got no owners, only spenders. So this is Omar's quote when he held up the card game and he was talking to Marlo, and Marlo said, "What about that's my money?" And he said, he easily tells him, "Hey, money ain't got no owners, only spenders," which I interpreted as money switches hands like handshakes. You can get paid on a Friday and then be broke on a Saturday, because money has to go to bills. Money has, people has wants and needs, and things go in and out, and you can ever put claim or ownership on money. So all of those billionaire guys or millionaire guys that hold on to their money and very adamant about, "I have this money and it makes me powerful," you can lose that money in a off a bad drug habit. You can lose it off a bad summer, a bad investment. When you pass away, that money's not going with you. That money can go to other people once you die, and they can blow it. So that money is not yours. When you die, you won't die with money in your pocket unless you leave a will to do so. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to stay with you. Somebody's going to take it. So money has no ownership, only spenders. So that was a very powerful quote and made a lot of sense for those people who hold high value to having a bunch of money and thinking it's so powerful, because you can lose that from a stick up. You can lose that from uh, the Madoff scandal. It's so many different ways you can lose money. But the one thing you can't lose is your integrity if you really have it. So that's one of the major quotes from the show The Wire. Of course, it's my number 4 spot. Um, so of course, my third one is from Omar as well. He had a lot of great quotes, so most of the quotes are from him. It's when he was on the stand testifying, and the attorney for the dealers, Levy, kind of chastised him for being a stick up guy. And he tells Levy, he says, "Hey, I got the shotgun. You got the briefcase. It's all in the game, right?" So I interpreted that one as him saying that everyone is making money off of this criminal justice system. So whether you are a lawyer, or you're the felon, or you're the attorney, you're the judge, you're the policeman, you're the DA, all everybody's making money off what the criminals do and what the crime is. So no one's really in position to judge anyone, because everyone has a part to play. Everyone making money, everybody, it's a system that's going on. Without the criminal, nothing exists. You can't have a bunch of lawyers and attorneys and um, whatever profession that you might have in the criminal justice system without having the criminal, because he makes this things goes. So he's just as vital as anyone, is important all the way up to the judge. So that was a very powerful quote that he had, and made people really think. And even the judge kind of looked and says, "Wow, well, attorney, well, what you going to say about that?" And he didn't have an answer for it. So it was very smart dialogue and writing from the show's creators, and just the concept of life and the concept of the system that we live in America, and the scales of justice and everything that's intertwined with that. So it was a very powerful quote, something to think about and something to conceptualize. And it's a mind blowing thing when you think about it, because everyone thinks it runs off the big wigs, but it really isn't. It's a system built um, off the proletariats, the people who work, the people who are trying to make a buck, people who are just trying to live day to day. That's what the system is. So that is definitely my fourth one, a very powerful. But my second one is from Marlowe when he was incarcerated, and he was talking to his um, lieutenants, and he told them, "My name is my name," which became an album title for one of Pusha T's albums. Very powerful quote in the hip hop space. Very powerful quote in the TV world. My name is my name is as simple as that. His name is his name. Your name is everything. Your rep is everything, and it's associated to a lot of things. So a lot of people, probably not now, because they say all news is good news, even bad news is good news for business. But back during that time, your name and your rep meant everything, especially in the business that Marlowe was in. So dirt on your name wouldn't be tolerated. Dirt on your name shouldn't be accepted. It had to be addressed immediately, and it was something that Marlowe was big on. It's about his rep. But when you think about anybody who has a brand, their name is everything. Anytime there's a bad story comes about them, they're on top of it. They're trying to get their PR team involved. They're trying to get change the narrative. A lot of people who are rich and are famous always change the narrative or create this narrative so they get ahead of a story, because their name is everything. You can't be attached to these big name brands if you have dirt on your name, you have any kind of smut on your name, anything negative, anything that's derogative. So your name is my name is a huge one, especially if you think about the concept of The Wire, the show, and how feared these people were on the streets and how they were feared in their community because of their name. Their name was everything. And Marlo was one of the biggest components of that. So that was one of the powerful quotes on the show. So, and of course, the first one, the best quote I think that comes from the show The Wire is from Omar as well. And it's the quote, "Come at the king, you better not miss." So I've seen this quoted a lot of places, seen this on t-shirts, seen this on a lot of posts, seen this in the media a lot. And a lot of people don't attach it to a name, but of course, this is Omar Little, played by Michael K. Williams. And it's the biggest quote on the show because this quote means if you come at the king, you better not miss, is a preparation quote. So if you're gonna attack the best, you better be ready, prepared. These teams that play other great teams, if they talk big, they're gonna be expected to play big. So if you call out a LeBron, or if you call out a Steph Curry, or you call out a Michael Jordan, or you call out a Wilt Chamberlain or somebody to that effect, you better be ready to play because they're gonna bring their best no matter what. But if you talk on their name or you send out, early fillers, then you're gonna have to pay for it. Similar to what Tom Brady, a lot of people said when they used to play the Patriots, nobody tried to talk bad on their name because they were already a great team and had a great quarterback. But if you talk bad about Tom Brady and say he's not this, he's not that, they like this, they like that, they're gonna be ready and they're gonna tell you about it. So if you come at the king, you better not miss. It's definitely one of the biggest quotes because if you come at the king and miss, it could lead to your demise and you won't get another opportunity. But if you come at the king and you're prepared, it can make you the king. So, in the terms of the show, Omar said this, and of course, you know, unfortunately, he had his demise on the show. Um, but it was a powerful quote, I think, for in terms of television, but only in world life quotes as well, because to come at somebody more powerful, more rich than you have to be prepared and consider all angles. And this is what this quote was about. So this is why I said this is probably it is the most powerful quote on the show The Wire. And that's my top 5 quotes from from the TV show The Wire, the HBO series. Tell me what you think your favorite quotes are from The Wire. And until next time, I'll see you next time.